Thoughts do not become reality. At least, not in the way people often say. You may have heard the phrase, thoughts become reality, but that statement is only half true. So let's start with a clear truth. Thoughts alone do not change reality, but thoughts do decide the doorway through which you experience reality. When people misunderstand this, life becomes exhausting. You start believing you must always think positively. You feel like you must eliminate negative thoughts, and suddenly you are trying to control your own mind all day long. That pressure alone can make you tired. But reality is actually much simpler. Thoughts do not create reality because they are magical. Thoughts create reality because they influence your choices, and your choices shape your actions, and repeated actions slowly become your life. The process is simple. Thought leads to perception. Perception leads to decisions. Decisions lead to actions. Actions become reality. Thoughts are not reality itself, but they live at the very beginning of the chain that forms your life. First, understand something important. You are not seeing the world as it is. Every human being sees the world through a filter. Your mind edits reality. Two people can experience the same situation and see completely different worlds. For example, someone does not reply to your message. One person thinks they are probably just busy. Their body stays calm. Another person thinks they must be upset with me. Anxiety rises immediately. But the external situation is the same. A message has not been answered. Nothing more. The difference is interpretation, and interpretation changes behavior. A calm person waits. An anxious person sends another message, then another. Soon, the conversation becomes awkward. The relationship becomes tense. Nothing magical happened. A thought changed an action, and that action created a new reality. This is the real meaning of thoughts becoming reality. Let's make this even clearer. Thoughts do not create reality directly. Thoughts set direction. They are like the steering wheel of your life. This is where many people get trapped. They believe, if I change my thoughts, everything will improve. But that idea often creates another problem. People start fighting their own minds. They try to eliminate negative thoughts, but negativity is not the enemy. Feeling anxious is natural. Feeling afraid is natural. Feeling uncertain is natural. The real problem is not negative thinking. The real problem is when those thoughts stop you from moving. Anxiety appears, you freeze, you avoid action. Nothing changes. Then the anxiety grows stronger, and the cycle repeats. In this sense, thoughts do not create reality. They often lock reality in place. The danger is not what you think. The danger is when thinking stops movement. So, what about people whose lives actually change? What makes them different?
The answer is surprisingly simple. They move faster from thought to action. When they think, I want to try this, they act immediately. They send the message. They research the idea. They clean the desk. They take one small step outside. They work for 5 minutes. Notice something. None of these actions are big. Reality rarely changes through dramatic decisions. It changes through small repetitions, small actions repeated again and again. And something important happens. Each action builds self-trust. You begin to feel something quietly powerful. I can move. That belief stabilizes your thinking, and stable thinking creates more action, and action creates change. People whose reality shifts are not stronger thinkers, they are simply better at connecting thought to action. Now, let's talk about a common trap. People whose reality never changes are not weak thinkers. In many cases, they think too much. They try to complete life inside their minds. Perfect planning, eliminating every possible failure, searching for the best possible strategy. But reality cannot be understood through thinking alone. Reality reveals itself through movement. The longer you think, the slower you act. The slower you act, the more reality stays the same. Then frustration grows, and eventually a painful belief appears. Maybe I am just not capable. But that is not true. You are not the problem. The problem is that thinking has replaced living. Your mind feels busy, but your life is standing still. That gap slowly drains your energy. So, what should you actually do? Here is the quiet answer. You do not need to make thoughts become reality. You only need to organize your thoughts. Not positive thinking, not forcing optimism. Simply narrowing your focus. When your mind is full of future problems, everything feels overwhelming. Instead, reduce the scale. Choose one action, just one, something small, something possible today. Clean your desk, take a short walk, write one sentence, reply to one message. This single step reconnects thought and reality. People whose lives move forward do this constantly. They do not chase the perfect future, they take the next small step. And finally, something gentle. What you truly want is probably not manifestation. You want peace. You want stability. You want to trust yourself. You want to feel that your life is slowly moving forward. Thinking is only a tool for that, but sometimes the mind becomes too loud. Remember this. Your mind is trying to protect you. Anxiety says something might go wrong. Fear says you might get hurt. These thoughts are not enemies. They are signals of protection. So you do not need to fight your mind. You only need to guide it back.
So, do thoughts become reality? The honest answer is this. Thoughts do not directly create reality, but thoughts decide the direction in which reality moves, and direction is always determined by one thing, your next small action. So, today, do not try to fix the future. Do not try to redesign your life. Simply choose one small step. Wipe the desk, take a walk, write one line, send one message. Small movement quietly changes the course of life. There is no need to rush. Reality changes slowly, but it always begins with the people who keep moving.